A cup of coffee served with joy, with warmth, humour and concern can truly make the world a better place.
Well, that might help a little bit. I mean, I would have thought, ending disease, poverty, and war, might have made the world a better place. But okay, cup of coffee can help.
Today we have gathered here out of love, admiration and gratitude.
And for a well-deserved state funeral. Although when you look at what it's qualified for a state funeral in the past, this it's out of left field. It's a bit of an odd one. That's what I would characterise it as. I mean, if this say it had been run over by a car, or had have died of a heart attack, or something like that, got electrocuted in his shop, did they have a state funeral ready to go? And it wasn't like he was heroic. The trolley man was the hero. He was the designated hero in this one. So, and you know what? He couldn't have been the hero because he was already dead. Look, Cisco's dead. I get a lot of comments, people saying people don't die in these things. Look, I think they do. And, well, I've died or have died. And I think Cisco either died of a heart attack. Look, they may have even killed him. Although, look, it is less likely that they killed him. But if they did, this state funeral would certainly placate the family as far as wanting any sort of coroner's inquest or anything like that. It kind of, ties it up nicely, and, they'll be quite happy with a state funeral. But I think it's more likely that he died of a heart attack, or maybe even he had a terminal illness. But they've used his death, incorporated it into this event, and as a trade-off, he's been given a state funeral, and his family might have gone along with that. Who knows how but look, he didn't die in the actual event. Obviously, we know that didn't happen. So that's what I think this state funeral is all about. Either to placate the family in the event that they killed him, or they've offered it to them to use his death in this staged event, and that's how they got it. Because look, a state funeral, I'll just get into that right now, would be really big to Sisto in his community. Just to give you a bit of a background into Sisto's position in the community. Oh, also look at all the dignitaries that are there. What politicians, state, federal. You've got commissioners. You got the ex-mayor Doyley was there paying his respects. They're all at this thing. He was very, very. I mean, some of them there for political reasons, obviously, but also he was very well connected. And I know. Well, okay, I've been reliably informed that in Sydney anyway, and I'm pretty sure this is how it works in Melbourne, these Italian cafe owners, they're big shots in their community. They strut around chest, out. They're all about respect and reputation. That's what these guys are about. And I know that. Well, sorry, I'll say reliably informed that a lot of these cafes, they're unlicensed and they serve coffee during the day. But in Sydney, this is. I'm not saying it's what Sisto does, but I know this happens in Sydney. Is that, I don't know, the community gathers at the cafe, there's for a social function. They have some alcoholic drinks, but look, they're not serving it. It's not like they're licensed. Oh, look, they might sort of, pay the person who went and bought it, but that's not selling it. And they might set up some tables and a bit bored. I get a game of cards going. You want a game of eucalyptus? For those that remember Ostentatious, okay, you young guys are probably going, what's he just said? Anyway, not that game, obviously. The one where you, say 5-card stud, let's go. And, might have just a friendly wager, that's all it is. But the scene's set. And the cops would obviously be able to, if they really wanted to, because that's basically, they could construe it as illegal gambling. Look, it's not. Okay, it's not. That's not illegal drinking, illegal gambling. And it's not what makes these guys the big shots in the community, sort of getting away with doing stuff, what some might think's outside of the law, because it's not. Well, not according to the police, and here's how it works, is these guys are well connected, and they talk a lot to people, they have people coming and going, and they know a lot of what's going on in the community, and they can provide a phone number, a name, just a lead, say a location at a particular time to the cops. They don't need to give themselves up at all. Just the fact they'd make sure they never give themselves up. And really, the cops don't want to give them up because they want this information coming. So that kind of, small time, what would you call it? Could be seen as crime. That sort of takes a bit of a back seat to, they could be doing major drug busts or gang activity. Look, that's how it works in Sydney. Not to say Sisto did all that, but he would be well connected to the police. The police would know him pretty well, definitely. And he's a community leader anyway. He'd be spending time at functions, wouldn't he? I don't know. Is this his first official function? Has he ever been to Parliament House before? I don't know. He's probably spoken to the cops quite often, just, friendly terms. So the cops would know him. So look, how he died, he could have died either of a heart attack. Look, we know he didn't get stabbed. And when you look at that guy running around, did he have an implement that could even kill anybody? Like, I can't, like, you need, a crocodile Dundee, that's not a knife, that's a knife sort of thing. You can hardly even see what's in his hand, even as the footage, it's quite good. I'm going to go over all that, the stabbing and the shooting. So to end this Sisto state funeral, you just need to ask the question, what are the chances that a person, if they were killed by a terrorist, would be given a state funeral, would actually be killed by a terrorist?
Well, 3 men have been arrested in early morning dawn raids here in Melbourne.
I just noticed on the same day as the state funeral, another terror story in Melbourne. Again, geez, it's a big, big day for terror down in Melbourne. In fact, it's always big. Terror is always big in Melbourne. The rest of Australia, New South Wales, Mayor Monis is done with, and that we're just, walking around, sniffing flowers, just, in the sunshine, going to parks. Whereas in Melbourne, you couldn't do that. Yeah, you're looking over your shoulder. Is that guy a terrorist? Has that guy got a knife? What's that car doing? It's just, look at those 3 guys. What are they plotting? What's going on? Why is Melbourne the hotbed of terror? Okay, well, first of all, when you think about the people you need to get on board to conduct just one of these things, you then have to repeat that in every state. So you've got them on board, like with, say, Ashton's in on it. A lot of the senior police would be in on it. A lot of the junior cops, they're just trying to pay off mortgages and that. They wouldn't be in on it. They'd certainly be, going, oh, what's this shit again? But, they want to protect their income, so they're not going to whistle blow. It's a instant, career gone sort of thing. So there's a few cops. But look, there's 2 organisations that are stationed in Melbourne that are ideal. Now, one is the planning arm. I'm not going to say the names of these organisations. You can look them up yourself. But they're good with crises, the organising arm. And the one that if they needed anybody actually killed, see, the cops wouldn't actually kill someone themselves. I said Sisto they might have killed him. And I'm pretty sure that Alistair Farr got killed. Now, they're not going to do it themselves. But there is a group in Melbourne that has, like I said, they have security in their title. And they are legally allowed to have firearms. And they are sort of tied to one particular community that is tied to one particular nation overseas. I'm not going to mention any names. But if they wanted somebody dead, like I said, the cops wouldn't do it. They would just bring someone in from this country on a 457 visa as a consultant at their headquarters. And, they might wander off and, do a few things, odd jobs here and there. And in the case of Sisto, they could just act as cops and, teed up, of course, with the connections high up in the Victorian police. They would know what's going on. And, Sisto would think they were cops. And as I said, he's had a good relationship with cops. He'd, I just want to come around the back and have a bit of a word. Pff, he's dead. They could just stick his body, with transit vans everywhere and that, courier vans. They could easily get his body up there once they secured the scene. Lay him down, and even the cops on the scene, they're no wiser. The junior cop says, "Oh yeah, okay, this guy's dead." Although the 2 cops that were running around that shot him, they, I've got to get into them. But just the normal cops, and then the family turns up because remember, Sisto was on his walk. you know, he's run into some cops or whatever, you know. Anyway, then so he's dead, and the family just sees him in hospital. So they think it's all above board. But he could have died of a heart attack. But then these, you know, guys on these visas, they then leave the country, and you know, a terrorist did it. There's no investigation, so they could do that pretty tidily. So yeah, all these terror events are always going to be in Melbourne now. Like I said, they've got all the structure in place, and look, once they do it once Ashton and Andrews and all those guys, they're then beholden to them. You know, if they get exposed, you know, that's over for them. So they say, oh, we've got another job for you, and they've got to keep doing them. So that's why Melbourne, like I said, the rest of Australia, oh, we're just, you know, whistling, hands in our pockets, walking down the street, not a care in the world. Not like you Melbourneites, apparently. I'd still walk around Melbourne with my hands in my pockets whistling. Not that I do that, but if I did, I'd feel free to do it because, you know, there's the same amount of terror in Melbourne as there, despite the news reports, there's the same amount of terror in Victoria as what there is in sleepy old South Australia. So anyway, let's just watch the rest of this.
Accused of plotting a terrorist attack. Two brothers aged 30 and 26 were taken into custody here at a property in Campbellfield as well as at a home in Dallas. A 21-year-old man was also taken into custody.
So this is their real base level operation where they don't show any action. Like at least with the Bangladeshi woman, they at least showed a chair with blood on it. They're not showing anything with this one. Just a couple of cop cars out the front. Tell the media to read the script, put up some tape, and that's it. No, they haven't got anyone walking around with blankets on their heads. So like they did in New South Wales when they thwarted the Etihad terror plot. And they've foiled this one. I like a good thwarting and a good foiling of terror. Keeps it just real and ongoing. And actually, I thought they just settled into this pattern until they ran that latest one. I thought now all the laws are in place, and there must be. I've got to actually try and research. I haven't had a chance, but I'll try and find out the laws they've brought in. I know they're bringing in some New York City style measures, so I'm not sure exactly what they are. So it might be more video surveillance, more. I think Woodrow mentioned or Pyman or one of you Melbourneites mentioned there was the PA system. No, it was the Rockno. Sorry, there you go. Sorry, the Rockno. I watched a lot of channels. So yeah, it's might have something to do with that. I'm not too sure. Just on Woodrow's channel, he's done. I haven't done the security guard who got stabbed because just go to Woodrow's channel and watch that one. Like he's nailed it. There's no need for anyone to do anything else. Yeah, I could do a better job than what he's done. He's done a fantastic job on that one. So yeah, check out Woodrow's channel. So, all right, that's it for this one. So yeah, actually, I'm sort of in a funny sort of a way. I'm pleasantly surprised they're running these out in the street, you know, drama and that, because it gives us makes it interesting. These stories here, I mean, what can you do with it? You know, just point out they're not going to say the guy's name. You're not going to hear about the court cases. Just moment on TV, terror, 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 and that's it. And that's it for this video.